I want to start by telling you something from the heart. Many people have chronic kidney disease, CKD, some are thought to have no chance, and others are completely free of the disease. And I want you to know this, you can do it too. There's one thing all those success stories share: a low-protein, plant-based diet. It's not just theory, it's the very foundation that makes healing possible. Diet is the single most powerful step you can take if you want to protect and even restore your kidneys. Now, here's where my approach might feel different. Most doctors treat the kidney diet like a list of don'ts, cutting away until there's barely anything left to enjoy. But that's not how I see it. To me, food should still feel abundant. It's not about starving your plate, it's about filling it with the right things. Trust me, when we focus on what you can eat, everything feels lighter, easier, and far more doable. So today, I want to guide you through 3 foods that truly matter for you. Whether you're dealing with diabetes, high blood pressure, swelling, or proteinuria, these are the ones that can support you in ways most people don't expect. And let's begin with the first. It's a food that's been unfairly banned from so many renal diets, but in reality, it's a powerful ally for your kidneys and especially for proteinuria. That food is brown rice, yes, especially when sprouted. Brown rice. Now, let's talk about this humble grain that's been unfairly pushed off so many kidney plates: brown rice. Even today, in 2024, you'll still hear people warning against it. Too much potassium, too much phosphorus, that's the usual line. But honestly, that advice is outdated, and it keeps people from something that could truly help them heal. Here's the truth: our bodies don't even absorb phosphorus from plant foods in the same way we do from animal foods, so it's rarely something to fear. And as for potassium, the connection between what you eat and what shows up in your blood is nowhere near as straightforward as most think. In fact, one of the biggest culprits behind high potassium isn't rice at all, it's constipation. And you know what helps with that? Fiber. This is where sprouted brown rice really shines. It has 4 times more fiber than white rice, along with 3 times more vitamin B1, B6, and magnesium. That's not just food, it's medicine straight from nature. So it's no surprise that researchers are finally beginning to study brown rice as part of treatment for proteinuria. Whole grains like this are naturally rich in anti-inflammatory compounds, and when inflammation eases, so does proteinuria. And brown rice isn't the only ally here. Green tea, with its powerful antioxidant EGCG, works beautifully alongside it, calming kidney inflammation and helping protect your kidneys even further. Green tea and flaxseed. Green tea is one of those simple daily rituals that can quietly change everything for your kidneys. Its antioxidants go straight to work, calming inflammation and supporting kidney function in ways that still amaze me. If you can, make it a habit. 1 cup in the morning is a beautiful place to start. And here's a little tip: add a splash of lemon juice. That tiny step helps unlock the antioxidants so your body can actually use them. But the real superstar when it comes to proteinuria is flaxseed. This is something I always recommend to kidney patients because it always works. Flaxseed is loaded with powerful anti-inflammatory compounds that directly protect the kidneys, especially in cases where inflammation is driving proteinuria. Just a small daily amount can make a remarkable difference. High blood pressure. Now, let's shift to another huge piece of the puzzle: blood pressure. If you're serious about managing it naturally, whole grains need to be part of your daily routine. I don't mean once in a while, I mean every single meal. Whole grains aren't just filler, they're packed with fiber, vitamins, minerals, and compounds that actively lower blood pressure. Here's something most people don't know: For every 30 grams of whole grains you eat, your risk of hypertension drops by about 8%. That's not just my opinion, it comes from a massive meta-analysis of 28 studies. On the flip side, red meat does the exact opposite, pushing blood pressure higher. So the formula is simple: cut out the meat, pile on the grains. One grain I especially love is amaranth. Besides its poetic name, it's absolutely packed with magnesium, which works almost like nature's own blood pressure pill. For CKD patients especially, that's a gift you don't want to ignore. And of course, the basics matter, too. Stay well hydrated and avoid sodium, like your kidneys depend on it, because they do. And let me be crystal clear, I'm not just talking about table salt. Those fancy alternatives, Himalayan, Celtic, pink, sea salt, are all the same story. Pretty packaging, same dangerous effect. No matter how artisanal they claim to be, they'll still send your blood pressure soaring. So please, if you're still keeping those salts in your kitchen, do your kidneys, and me, a favor and throw them out today. Your health is worth so much more than a sprinkle of overpriced minerals. Flavoring considerations. Let's be honest, nobody wants their meals to taste like cardboard. The good news is you don't need salt to make food delicious. Spices are your best friends here. They don't just add flavor, many of them actually support your health. Take garlic, for example. It's not just a seasoning, it's a superfood. For anyone with high blood pressure, it's almost like nature's medicine. Here's a little tip: don't cook it. Chop it fresh, let it sit for a minute, and then add it to your dish once it's finished cooking. That way, you get both the wonderful flavor and all the kidney-friendly benefits. Beets for blood pressure. Next, I want to talk about one of my favorite vegetables for CKD patients: beets. Science backs up what I've seen again and again. Beets are powerful when it comes to lowering blood pressure. Why? They're naturally rich in nitrates, which relax your blood vessels and make it easier for your heart to do its job. They also contain compounds called betalains, which gently support your kidneys and liver in clearing out extra fluids and waste. In other words, they help your body breathe easier from the inside out. Potassium and CKD. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, but wait, aren't beets high in potassium? And this is where the confusion sets in for so many people living with CKD. Every time I talk about high potassium foods, I can almost hear the objections lining up. But here's the truth: potassium itself is not the villain. In fact, too little potassium can be just as harmful, sometimes more. When your levels drop too low, you may notice muscle cramps, swelling, or sudden spikes in blood pressure. That fluid retention and pressure strain your kidneys far more than a bowl of vegetables ever could. Now, to be clear, high potassium levels do happen, and they absolutely need to be managed carefully. But restricting every healthy, high potassium food shouldn't be the first step, it should be the last. Often, the real causes of high potassium are things like constipation, insulin imbalances, or even medications. For example, ACE inhibitors and ARBs, common prescriptions for CKD, can push potassium higher, and doctors need to watch this closely. So instead of fearing potassium, let's understand it. With the right guidance, most people can enjoy potassium-rich foods safely, and in doing so, give their kidneys and heart the nutrients they truly need. Diabetes. First, let me reassure you, bananas, beets, and other potassium-rich foods are not the villains they've been made out to be. What usually pushes potassium too high isn't the food on your plate, but uncontrolled blood pressure or other underlying issues. So, let's set the fear aside and focus on foods that can truly help if you're living with diabetes. one of the most powerful? Bitter melon. This humble vegetable has been used for centuries as a natural support for blood sugar control, and modern science backs it up. It contains unique compounds that act a lot like insulin, and clinical studies show it can help lower blood sugar, HbA1c, and even protect kidney function. In fact, in one study, people with diabetes who ate bitter melon daily maintained stable creatinine levels, while those who didn't saw their kidney numbers worsen. That's huge. Yes, it's bitter. And yes, it's technically a melon. But sometimes the most unusual foods hold the sweetest benefits. If a touch of bitterness can help make your life healthier and brighter, it's worth a try. Other beneficial foods. Cinnamon is another gem for anyone with diabetes. Beyond its warm, comforting flavor, it has the remarkable ability to improve insulin sensitivity. Studies show cinnamon can lower fasting blood sugar by 10% to nearly 30%. That's not just a small shift, it's a meaningful difference. And the best part? It's so easy to use. Sprinkle it on your morning oats, on fruit, or even in your tea. Think of it as a little spice that tells sugar to calm down and behave. And then there are tangerines. They may look simple, but they're carrying powerful gifts inside. Rich in vitamin C, they support your kidneys by gently encouraging diuresis, helping your body release excess fluids, and by fighting oxidative stress. For those with type 2 diabetes, tangerines also offer a special compound called nourishment, which can improve blood sugar control. So while life may hand you lemons, sometimes it's the tangerines that bring the sweetness, protecting your kidneys while making the journey a little brighter. Supplements. Some foods are so powerful that they've even been turned into supplements. And for many people, that can be a blessing. It means you can enjoy the benefits every single day without having to eat the same food on repeat. Take bitter melon, for example. Not everyone loves its sharp taste, but bitter melon capsules are widely used by people with diabetes, and they work beautifully. The same goes for beet powder. It can help lower blood pressure, improve circulation, and yes, it might even turn things a little pink afterward. Don't be alarmed, that's normal. Garlic supplements are another favorite, giving you all the protective power of garlic without the lingering smell. Doctors and diet changes. Now, you might wonder, why does my doctor push back whenever I talk about diet or supplements? Why does it sometimes feel like they want me to avoid anything that didn't once walk, swim, or fly? Here's the thing, it's not that they don't care about you. Doctors are trained under the principle of the Hippocratic Oath: first, do no harm. And because many of them aren't deeply familiar with plant-based, low-protein diets for CKD, they can be overly cautious. But here's what the science actually shows: a well-designed low-protein, plant-based diet is not only safe, it's now considered standard in managing CKD. Patients are supposed to begin this kind of renal diet as early as stage 3, not just when things get critical. Unfortunately, not all doctors are up to date with the latest guidelines. Some still hold on to older beliefs, which is why they may default to advice that leads straight toward dialysis instead of exploring ways to slow, or even reverse, progression. I'm not telling you to ignore your doctor, but I am saying it might be time to find one who understands that nutrition science has moved forward since the 1950s. Your kidneys deserve modern, compassionate care, not outdated rules. Swelling. If you struggle with swelling, and many CKD patients do, it's usually because of fluid and sodium retention. Thankfully, nature has given us foods with gentle diuretic properties that can help your body release that extra water. Asparagus is one of the best. Not only is it delicious and nutrient-rich, but it also helps your kidneys flush out excess fluid. For the best effect, try grating it raw into a salad. That way, you keep all those helpful compounds intact. Parsley is another powerful option. Used for centuries as a natural remedy, it has strong diuretic effects that modern science has confirmed. Just use it in moderation, sprinkled fresh as a garnish or added sparingly to meals. And don't forget ginger. This warming root is a true multitasker. It supports blood sugar control, eases high blood pressure, reduces nausea, and yes, it can help relieve swelling. Enjoy it raw in tiny slices, brew it as tea, or use it dried as a spice. It's one of the best gifts you can give your kidneys. So there you have it, powerful foods and supplements that can help protect your kidneys, calm inflammation, and ease the burdens your body carries. And if you'd like to discover even more kidney-friendly foods, I've got a full video waiting for you. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Take care of yourself, and may God bless you always.